What's up, everybody? Silver here with another Halo Wars 2 achievement guide. This time we are doing part 1 of Awakening the Nightmare, so this is going to be part 15 of the overall campaign experience in Halo Wars 2, but it's the first of 5 missions for the Awakening the Nightmare DLC, campaign DLC, which is the second campaign DLC for Halo Wars 2. So part 1 of 5 of Awakening the Nightmare, but part 15 of the overall campaign in Halo Wars 2. So to start off, we're just a couple of Reavers and a couple of infantry units, and we're just going to march over here, leave your infantry there, and march your Reavers over here. Use the Y ability to jump the gap there, grab those power supplies, and then just go over here, and we're going to get a few more units, and we're going to blow up this barricade here. So just direct them to shoot at that barricade, and we could chat about skulls that I have on right now. So you could use any skulls you want in these achievements. So there's a few beneficial ones in Halo Wars 2, which makes it a lot easier. So you should put on Pain Train, Bountiful Harvest, Emperor, Total Annihilation, Firestarter, Things That Go Boom, and Sugar Cookies. So those are the beneficial ones you'll always want to throw on for these achievements when you're achievement hunting, or just playing through a second time, making it easier. So blow up this cache of power units, grab those, blow up these Sentinels. There's only a couple of them there, so it should be pretty easy with your Reavers there. Then we're going to march over here. There's going to be a bunch more Sentinels here, but you could actually run past them. So I started fighting them, but then I'm like, we're out of here. So there's those handful of Sentinels there, but then there's a bunch more reinforcements that come. So we're just going to ignore them. Blow up this crate. It's like a charred Covenant cache of supplies there from High Charity. So we're going to come upon this base. It's under attack by Sentinels. This whole mission is mostly all about Sentinels. So we're just going to build a ton of Reavers for the most part. So what you want to do when you first get control here is use this disruption bomb. It kind of contains the Sentinels so they can't keep pouring out of that hole in the ground. But you want to make sure that you keep an eye on that, because the disruption emitter does not last that long. It only lasts like 3 or 4 minutes or something. Then you got to throw another one down. So keep an eye on that. We're going to build some supply pads and some power generators, or the equivalent in Covenant terms, or not Covenant, Banished, excuse me. There's no Covenant in this game, unless you want to count the all the like stray garbage lying around on these missions, because we're around High Charity, which is pretty much the pinnacle of Covenant. But we're just slowly, I put my Reavers in the back because the Sentinels will continue to come at you from behind here. But I'm going to spread out my other units while keeping my Reavers back here. So I'm going to send my Scarab, not my Scarab, it's a mini Scarab, it's a Locust. Send my Locust to collect some supplies, just have them walk around, keep my Reavers in the back of the base, build some turrets here. You can see there's 2 spots for turrets. And we're building up the turrets on our base. I built 3, and I'm going to use a shield generator for the 4th spot there. Send some infantry over to this power node, and we're just generally kind of spreading our forces out here so they could do multiple things at once. The Reavers I'm not really paying attention to. You can see they're doing a good job themselves of destroying these Sentinels. And that disruption bomb needed to be replaced, so we did that. And yeah, so I directed that Locust to blow up that supply cache there, collect the supplies, have them just walk around. Here we go with the shield generator. And what you want to do with the base here is you want to upgrade your base to tier 3. So when I did that, I built or tier 2, you were able to build 2 more plots. So I built a vehicle bay, whatever it's called, and a garage, or a War Council, which is kind of like the Field Armory equivalent in the Banished world. So, what did I say? War Council. I'm blanking here. War Council and just the garage for the Banished here. And we're just going to build a ton of Reavers. Eventually we'll build some Banshees as well, but for the most part, in the beginning here, we're just going to max out our current population with Reavers and just send them to the back of the base here. Because again, they're contained in the front because we keep throwing down that the disruption emitter, whatever it's called. And make sure you upgrade your generators, your power generator, and your supply pads to the 2nd tier equivalent, so you get more as time goes by. And we're doing pretty good here. Build some Reavers. We want to upgrade everything in the War Council eventually, of course. you could see the Sentinels that were still alive were kind of shooting at our Scarab that just was sent in. But that's totally fine. The Scarab has more than enough health to deal with that. I made that Locust destroy that barrier over there, but that's not really that necessary. That's kind of just a thing that I do. It's not really, doesn't really help that much at all, though. So then I called them back over here. Get our forces. There's some random supplies and power lying around, so grab those. And we're going to move over here now to the second area where Sentinels are pouring out of the ground. And you can see the Sentinels stand no chance with our massive amount of Reavers here. The only thing that's kind of annoying to take out are these 2 turrets, because the Reavers don't do so well against turrets, but that's fine. We have sufficient numbers where it doesn't really matter. So we threw a disruption bomb down, so we could contain those Sentinels coming out of this area. And we're just going to destroy these turrets, and we're going to throw up turrets of our own on these plots. And then we are going to move back to the Scarab to start defending him. So you can see at the top of the screen it says the percentage of health it has left. So make sure you keep an eye on that. It's at 97% right now, which is totally fine. He's starting to get attacked more now. But we got time to move our Reavers back, so no worries there. What I use my leader points for to upgrade my leader powers is I always upgrade Atriox's Bulwark first, so I max that out. It has 3 slots you could upgrade it with. So do that so you could heal your Scarab when you need to. That's why I'm not really concerned about the Scarab taking damage at this point, because I could just do that, throw a Bulwark down. So we're here, we are, I threw my Locust over there all the way to the left because there's more supplies over there. We need to throw down another disruption emitter, whatever it's called, thingamabob. So do that. So you want to keep an eye on, you might want to check manually, like visually every now and then, to see if your disruption emitters are still in place. And also you want to keep an ear out for any audio that indicates, like, hey, we have, your disruption emitter is down, we need another one put in place. They'll actually tell you in the dialogue in the mission here. So make sure you listen in for that. Throw another one down there. Whenever you do this, you want to put, not Scarabs, you want to put turrets. I keep using Scarabs for everything in this mission here. You want to use turrets. You always want to throw down turrets to kind of defend the your disruption emitter there. So we're maxing out everything. We upgraded our base to tier 3. We're upgrading our vehicle bay to tier 3, the highest tier we could get it to, and we're using the War Council to just max out everything. So what you want to prioritize with the War Council is probably turrets and reinforcements, so you get a bigger force, and also you could finish off with the whatever it's called that makes your units train faster. So that's the last thing we want to worry about. But yeah, max it out, of course, when you get the resources to do so. We are over here now, containing this third hole in the ground that's unleashing Sentinels into the air. So now we're going to, you can see I had about 80 or so population with Reavers, and then I blew up my vehicle bay and I substituted an Apex in for it. So that is basically just your air units, your hangar, if you will. So use that, and we're going to build a bunch of Banshees. So it'll give us some air units, and that will help us do some damage where we otherwise couldn't. Obviously, forces that are more diverse are better at surviving, but also you want to use Banshees to kind of fly around the map. There's some places that other people can't get to. I guess that's not true exactly, because the Reavers have the jump ability. They could jump across different things. They could jump over barriers. They could jump up and down things. But it's easier just to have Banshees fly around. So we're going to take over this little area, throw down those 2 turrets, use this mini base. I'm going to put down a vehicle bay. No, I'm not. What did I put down? I ended up putting down like a power supply, whatever. I guess so. Use this power node. Power node's just hanging out over here, so grab one of your infantry units and send them over there. So we're not building any infantry units. You could build 1 or 2 here and there as you need them. So if you found yourself with no infantry units, you could just build one and just have them run over there and capture that power node. But I just took there's actually a little garrison in front of your base in the beginning, and those that garrison comes like manned already for you, so you could just I just leave them there until this point, and then I send them over to that second power node over there, so they could waltz over and take that power node. So we're looking pretty good here. This mission is really all about Reavers and Banshees. So we're taking out all these guys before the Scarab even gets here. So this is why I had the Locusts blowing up that barrier to begin with, because I was able to kind of get a head start over here. But you could wait till the Scarab is done blowing this up. It doesn't make that much of a difference. So if you're feeling lazy, just hang out over there with the Scarab until it's done blowing it up, and then you could come in here with the Scarab. Most of this mission is kind of monitoring these areas where the Sentinels could come out of the ground. And the reason you want to keep them contained is obviously you don't want your base to blow up. But even if it does, I'm not sure really if that matters, because we have enough units and enough supplies at this point where we could just keep on moving on. You see there's these 2 mini bases over here that the UNSC have, so we could actually blow these up, and one of them you could actually use as a little mini base yourself. So even if we do lose our main base, which I don't recommend doing, I'm not saying you should just ignore it, but it's not the end of the world if you lose it. So I'm upgrading my turrets to anti-air, obviously. That's the only thing coming at them is those Sentinels. So we have a 3-plot little mini base here we're putting down. And obviously upgrade your air units as you can to the tier 3, and also all the Banshee upgrades that are available. And so we're going to send our... This is a bad idea what I'm doing right now. I sent my Banshees over here just to contain this one area. But in this instance, I discovered that the Sentinels could actually shoot and destroy your disruption emitter, which is what they're going to do. So we should just send our Reavers over, which is what we're going to do in a second, once I realize this is not going well. So just send your Reavers over here. You can see this kind of area is kind of built for Reavers to jump around, to highlight their jumping ability. So just go over here with your Reavers. I can see, oh, they're destroying that emitter. They're going to break free very soon. So move those Reavers over. I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place. The Reavers, I just didn't want to deal with the Reavers jumping down and then having to recharge their Y ability. But it looks like I have to do that, so send them down. And right here on this mini base, you can see I have built another Apex and Vehicle Bay, so I could call in reinforcements as I need to. And that makes my my main base here a little less important, because worst case scenario, I could just call more units in from the mini base there. So we'll jump on down and destroy these Sentinels. The most annoying part is the recharging again. So it looks like my base is not doing well anymore. So I called in one infantry unit there, just so I can move forward and throw this emitter down again, this disruption emitter, and call in those 2 turrets. So that's the only reason I made that infantry unit there. I guess I could have flown one Banshee over real quick, but that's alright. So we'll throw another disruption emitter down. Kind of losing a hold on all these different points, but that's okay. We are almost at the end of the mission here. So send these guys back up. I was getting a little worried because the Reavers were recharging while the Scarab was moving forward. So you want to make sure you jump down there with the Reavers as soon as possible. I waited a little too long there, but we're still good. The Scarab is in good health for the most part, 72%, but could be worse. And we got the Bulwark. So worst case scenario, I could just throw the Atriox's Bulwark down while the Reavers catch up. So there's a point over here where you can kind of take your time and gather your forces, because there are no more enemies coming at the Scarab, and there's no way to move past this point unless you activate the gate here. So I'm going to use this opportunity for healing the Scarab, and I'm also going to do some maintenance on my bases. Like, I'm blowing this guy up. I'm just creating supply silos, or whatever they're called. And I'm going to activate the base now. And there you can see that mini base I built right behind the Scarab. There's another mini base with 2 plots, so I'm going to build a Vehicle Bay and an Apex, or whatever it's called, Garage, Vehicle Bay. And you can see my main base is not doing so well. So I don't think it matters if it blows up, but on the off chance that the mission fails, like you fail the mission because your main base blows up, I just decided to save it. So I'm going to build a ton of whatever those are called, supply thingies, harvesters. They're different between the Banished and the UNSC, so I get confused. It's called a harvester, Silver. Come on. So yeah, the Scarab's just going to hang out here. Your units are going to hang out there, not do much. So I'm going to build another shield thingamabob, so that will defend my... As soon as you build the shield thing, shield emitter, it will actually form a shield over the base, even if it's taking damage. So you can take that opportunity to build more buildings on the base and also build more turrets. So that's what I did. So I've kind of turned the tides of that little battle between my base and the Sentinels over there. So at this point, we're just going to have the Banshees and Reavers all huddled around the Scarab there. Once he stops to start shooting at the turrets there, I will use the other bulwark, or another bulwark rather, to heal him up. And we're going to build turrets on these turrets as we destroy them. Looks like I moved past them a little too quickly, which is fine. Just my turret is in low health now. My first turret I started building because I left without killing all the Sentinels. So now they're kind of destroying my Sentinels, or destroying my turrets as they're being built. But that's alright. These aren't terribly important, but they help out, so why not throw them down? And we got a ton of supplies at this point anyway, so put them in. Oh, at this point I should mention, the Fog of War is totally lifted once you move over to this last section. So you could use that as an opportunity to upgrade some buildings, throw in some turrets, throw down some disruption bombs as you need to. And once you get to the end here, a Retriever Sentinel comes in, and it's very scary, but our Scarab is in good health. But this part was very scary the first time I had to go through it, but it's actually very easy. Just hit top right, middle right, bottom left, and that will give you the correct combination. You can see I didn't do that exactly here. I did top right, middle right, and then I had to hit bottom right 3 times. But it's all the same thing. It's just rotations on that little thing. So ideal combination, top right, middle right, bottom left. But that's it for this one, guys. Fairly easy mission on Legendary with all these skulls and these strats. So I'll see you for the next one. Click like and subscribe, leave a comment, follow me on Twitter at HaloCompletion, and on Twitch and Mixer at SilverScorpion4, and check out my podcast called HaloConversationalist, and I'll see you guys later for more Halo achievements.